Hi everyone, welcome back to another Reddit cheating story. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and notification bell if you love to watch more cheating stories. If you want to know how to get back your ex-girlfriend and boyfriend, click the link below.
D-Day was 3 days ago, and we've been married for 33 years. We've been married for 33 years, with me, M55, and my wife, 55, 2 children, and 2 grandchildren, whom we adore. Background. We met in a nightclub where I worked as a bouncer in the 1980s, went on a date, moved in together 2 months later, and married 2 years later. We lived a happy life, working, playing, and raising children. We tried different things to spice up our sex life and were always monogamous. I went from a very active job to a sedate job and gained a lot of weight, to the point where I couldn't even finish sex because I'd get an asthma attack. We tried different things to spice up our sex life and were always monogamous. Infidelity was a red line that my wife and I never crossed since I had been cheated on before. We adored each other and believed we would die together. 33 years of marriage is a long time, but I grew to love her more with each passing year. After 20 years of a dead bedroom, I decided to lose weight, and after 2 years, I lost 80 kilograms, 176 pounds, and got a tummy tuck. I know it seems vain, but there were 3 primary reasons. To see my grandkids grow up. To improve my health. To revive our sexual relationship, which it did. We had sex around 3 or 4 times per week for the past 2 years, and my wife loved every minute of it, which I knew because her body doesn't lie. So we were in a position where we could enjoy our lives together. She still claims to be in love with me, and I claim to be in love with her. It's simply one of those things. I've never cheated on her, and I'm sure she's never cheated on me. That was true until 3 days ago. I had no problem with her going on a vacation with her 2 sisters and traveling interstate with them. I trusted her, but she knew that cheating was a deal breaker with us, and it still is after 33 years. We had a relationship in which nothing was concealed. We had applications on our phones that allowed us to track each other's whereabouts. This was not due to a lack of confidence but rather to ensure our safety. No phones were hidden, and we both had access to our messages and emails. Trust was never an issue. When I lost weight and began to appear better, I received more attention from women, but I dismissed it because I was happily married. My wife would say that she felt insecure now that I was being found beautiful by others and that she had gained weight. This never bothered me because I adore her regardless of her appearance. I tell her every day how much I love her and how gorgeous she is. Our sex is incredible, and I'm sorry we didn't try harder earlier. In any case, I had just gotten off work and was on my way home when I got a call from my wife. She was unhappy and inquired whether I had spoken to my sister-in-law. Why did I say no? I inquired what was wrong, not expecting to hear what she was about to tell. She admitted to cheating and having sex with another man, and she apologized profusely, saying she didn't know what had possessed her. I was stunned, and my heart ached. I sat in my car, motionless, as she proceeded. She said she and her sisters were having a few drinks when a married couple joined them. They drank till 2 a.m. when her sisters departed to return to their bed. When the pub closed, she told me she was quite drunk and went to their room with the couple to continue drinking and talking. They were both very kind and continued telling my wife how sexy she was and how lucky her husband was. The man then began to touch her, and the wife applauded both of them. They assured her that no one would notice and that she should enjoy herself. She claimed she didn't believe it was her, but she had sex with the husband as the wife looked on. When she awoke the next morning, she found herself in bed with both sound asleep, and she dashed back to her room. She was apprehended by her sister, who told her everything. Her sister threatened to tell me if she didn't. She told me all of this over the phone, sobbing and pleading for my forgiveness. I was speechless. How could she toss our life away? She was crying and repeating how sorry she was and how much she hated herself, how much she loved me, and how she had made a terrible mistake. She didn't make a mistake, I informed her, that she had made a choice. After that, I hung up and turned off my phone. I returned home and sat on a chair, figuring out what would happen next. I wept for the loss of my wife as I knew her and for the years we had. I sobbed as I thought about the end of our future together and the impact her decision would have on our family. My life as I knew it had come to an end. I had switched off my phone for the previous 2 days and then turned it back on. Needless to say, and there were hundreds of messages from her and her sisters, the most recent of which stated that she was on her way home. My children tried to contact me after their mother called to ask if I was okay and if they had heard from me. I called my kids and explained what had happened and that I was as fine as could be expected but that I would be leaving the house to take care of myself before she returned. I begged them not to tell her where I was going, but I needed to accept that my marriage was over. I just texted my soon-to-be ex-wife, informing her that we're getting divorced and that I don't want to hear from her. I'm not interested in the details, and I'm no longer interested in her. The agony is unbearable. I never imagined our love could be shattered in such a short period. Here is the greatest comments, advice for this wonderful article that I gathered. I seriously doubt this was her first public appearance. After one night of too many shots in a bar, you don't go from 33 years of loyalty to a threesome. You only got the sobbing confession because she assumed her sister-in-law had already ratted her out. Don't be swayed by other posters who advocate for reconciliation. Those 20 years of a dead bedroom were unquestionably one-sided. Dear sympathies are with you, my buddy. It hurts to break 33 years of dedication, trust, and love like way, and you and your family don't deserve it. And this is the reality. She would never come clean, brother, until she was threatened with her sister revealing the truth. That should tell you everything you need to know. Cheating is never a good decision. And this was almost certainly not her first rodeo. She hoped to sweep the whole thing under the rug. Allowing her sob story to weaken your resolve is not a good idea. Allow yourself some distance from her. Tell her she must remain with family or friends and that she will not be able to return to you. Prepare to fight her even harder on this, showing even more of her true selfishness. Also, start looking for attorneys. I'm so sorry this occurred to you. All I can say is that I hope you find comfort and support in the presence of decent people while you go through this ordeal. Don't give up. You have our full support as well. That is something you should never forget. And, if it helps, please keep us informed. Dude, she cheated on you when you got in shape and started having sex regularly. Do you honestly believe she hadn't cheated on you in the last 20 years when you had a dead bedroom and she was younger and more gorgeous in her 30s and 40s? If that isn't true, I'll stake my life on it, but you deserve the real truth, not just a guilty apology pushed out by her sister after she was exposed. It makes no difference whether you divorce her or not. You need the complete truth to grieve because your 33-year marriage is over. Give your wife a copy of Joseph's letter that you printed out. The casualness and frivolity with which people approach their marriages astound me. Great ones, in particular, can endure up to 33 years. I'll never understand how they can throw everything away like that. She made a decision, as you stated, and nothing else mattered. Consequences follow choices. I agree with you. I'd put an end to it as well. She isn't deserving of your attention. I'm sorry for what happened. I feel you're acting responsibly. One thing to keep in mind. She only told you because her sister threatened to expose her, and you got the version of the story that absolves her of as much blame as she believed she could. Get a lawyer and a handle on your finances. Find out the rules for relocating. Some places may consider this abandonment and may give her the house. Also, get an STD test for yourself, and consider giving genealogy kits as a gift to the family, if they want to do it. 3 of them don't have to because they're adults. It's possible that this wasn't her first rodeo. Keep up the good work in the gym, and it sounds like you've been making tremendous strides. Before you talk to her again, I'd consult with a lawyer. He might have some advice on what you should say or, more crucially, what you should avoid saying. Record your conversation with her when you do speak with her again. If you can do it without her permission, rules differ by location, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, tell her you're going to videotape it and seek her permission. 33 years is a long time. Be grateful for the excellent moments you've had together, the support you've provided each other, and your children and grandchildren. You'll have memories of those happy days, your children, and your grandchildren even after the divorce. If you stay, I guess what I'm saying is that you'll always have a lack of trust, uncertainty, and anger in my mind. Moving forward, the happy times you enjoyed in the past will be few and far between. You may be respectful and decent parents and grandparents at the same time. There's no need to drag your deep-seated rage into your home by attempting to resolve this. I completely agree with you, it's a deal breaker, the boundary has been crossed. Get a good lawyer, go no contact, go to the gym, get some IC, and enjoy your life to the fullest, free of dread and worry. Update. I may ramble a little, but there's a lot on my mind right now, and it's hopping from one subject to the next. A couple of clarifications. Our lifeless bedroom wasn't dead, but it appeared to be so compared to the previous 2 years. My active career was in the military, and I was injured during a training exercise, which led to a desk job, then medical release, and then my wife and I teamed together to start a small business. Now, before I meet with my wife, I've spoken with my sister-in-law and her husband in depth, and the tale my wife told me was very different from the one she told me when she initially confessed. My children were shocked by what had occurred and only wanted to support me. I explained to them that, no matter how upset they were with their mother, she was still their children's mother and grandmother. She still loves them, despite what she caused to our marriage. My wife and her sisters returned home after cutting their vacation short. I left a message for my wife urging her to pack her belongings and reside with her mother. She did this. The details of what happened are far worse than what my wife told me, and despite confessing under duress, she didn't disclose the truth, which comes as no surprise. My wife had a breakdown in front of her sister and allegedly told her everything. I won't know what to believe until I sit down with her. This is how the tale she told her sister went. She loves me and our marriage, but she never expected me to do this. She blames our vigorous sex life over the last 2 years for allowing her to discover what else she was missing. She felt this way because she had always been the more attractive partner in the relationship, but she now believes the roles have been switched. She was insecure and craved the attention of others. She claims it was the first time, but she had planned it ahead of time. She was acting on a fantasy. She wasn't going to tell me she was scratching an itch. Unbeknownst to her sisters, the couple she met were interstate customers of ours. I haven't met them, but my wife chatted with them frequently over the phone. My wife went out for drinks with them, but her sisters accompanied her and pretended to be strangers till they departed. She drank, but not to the point of becoming inebriated. This was something that all 3 of them had planned before they left. This afternoon, my wife will visit to discuss. She appears to be completely oblivious to what is about to occur. I've already decided what I'm going to do. She chose to cheat, but everybody will feel the consequences. The reality about her adultery has already strengthened my determination, even though it makes it more terrible to me. I didn't force her to lie. Her feelings that she's lost me and her marriage are spot on, and I couldn't care less how miserable she is. She did it, no one else, and we'll all have to deal with it now. We've completed our mission and must now navigate our new life. Here is the greatest comments, advice for this wonderful article that I gathered. I get the impression that your wife has always looked down on you. This is evident in her perception that she was the attractive one. She had to get one over on you once she saw her self-imposed superiority slipping away in her mind. She would have kept this information hidden and used it to bolster her sense of superiority. It all comes down to your wife's lack of respect for you. She's probably tried to one-up you in the past, even behind your back. All to satisfy her urge to feel superior. She's ruined your marriage. You'll never be able to trust her again, believe in her again, or get over this. She'll offer you anything, but if you reunite with her, you'll loathe yourself for the rest of your life and have no self-respect. I'm truly sorry for your difficulties. Please accept my apologies. She made this decision while completely sober and lucid. And then she lied about it. I don't feel sorry for her. I only feel sorry for you and your children and grandchildren. I'm baffled as to why someone would willingly discard everything after 33 years. It's just heartbreaking. You already know what you should do next. Lean on your children for support. They will be there for you. Spend time with your friends and concentrate on yourself. Reduce your interaction with your STBX and take things one day at a time. If you believe you need it, seek counseling. I apologize once more, and I wish you the best of luck. I'm so sorry that this occurred to you. Wow, 33 years. So, when confronted, she lied to you, and now she has to live with the consequences. Allow her to have her app. She planned it, so she and he may now make other arrangements for the remainder of the trip. Their very existence. You'll be better off with her because your trust has been broken. Please accept my heartfelt apologies. Here's the deal. She's a liar, and she didn't intend to tell you the truth. Unfortunately, this means you can't trust everything she says, especially now that you know she's capable of deception. You can't believe what she told her sister, what she tells you, or what she says about you and your relationship. It's all a giant question mark right now. Cheaters frequently make a slew of ridiculous reasons. It's uncommon to receive complete honesty so soon after day. The truth is, you'll almost certainly never know everything there is to know. Is this the first time she's done something like this? On her first cheating event, she doesn't appear to be capable of doing so with a third party present. It's possible, but how would you know? Even with her sisters present, it was calculated. Would she still be cheating if no one knew about it? Would she have confessed in the end? Would she have looked for other cheating partners? Again, there's no way to tell for sure. Cheaters frequently believe lies they tell themselves, which may be what they truly believe when you speak with them. One of the reasons NC is frequently recommended is because of this. You can't take anything a cheater says at face value once your trust has been damaged. That's what they obliterated. When you are vulnerable, they can say things harmful to your mental health. So keep that in mind while you're meeting with her. If you're lucky, you might receive honesty, but don't bank on it. The usual is a trickle of truth, and even then, the most betrayed may never be sure they have the whole tale. If she knew you had zero tolerance for cheating and yet did it, she only has herself to blame. Tell her that if she agrees to an amicable divorce, you could be interested in dating her in the future. Whatever you decide, wait a reasonable amount of time, maybe 6 months, before making any major life decisions. You don't want to make any in the heat of the moment. Best wishes. Give her a divorce as a reward. When you're with substantially younger and prettier ladies, let her watch mind movies. This, they say, is the cost of seeking brighter pastures. I recently handled a divorce case where the 60-year-old wife opted to spend her vacation with a much younger boyfriend. Hubby had figured it out. He stood firm in his pre-nuptial agreement. She got it all, sweet fuck. He began dating a lovely woman in her 40s. His ex-girlfriend was well aware that she couldn't compete. She was no longer appealing to guys her age, and she lacked the financial means to hire a gigolo. And, her husband, got the money she spent on the vacation back in the divorce. Countersunk, screwed, blown, tattooed, and tattooed. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Please tell me what you think. Don't forget to subscribe and press the notification button. Keep an eye out for more cheating stories.